up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about frame rates. Now, frame rates are an interesting topic for today's video because I was thinking, I feel like people get so confused on what's the best frame rate to use for your videos. Now, in my opinion, I think it will be 24 frames per second, but there are some uses for 30, 60, and 120, and even 240 FPS. Alright, so number one use for, let's just start from 24 FPS all the way to 240. Like filmmakers and B-roll creators, they usually do use 24 FPS for most of their content because 24 FPS, it adds a little bit more of a stutteriness to the video. Obviously, there's more stutteriness, and yes, that is in 4K, the 4K 24, because my phone does not allow 1080 24, which is kind of like a bummer. 4K 24, it looks a lot more stuttery in the movements, and that is really cool of an effect. And a lot of people like it. I honestly very much so enjoy it. If you don't like it, you can always use 30. It has a little bit less of those movements. Honestly, just stick to 24. If you don't like 24, then of course switch. But with that said, let's move on to 30 FPS. What are the uses for 30 FPS? I really don't know. Like, it's almost the same as 24, but not as stuttery and more motion blur. So I'm kind of confused. Should I say like it's the same thing, or should I say like it's different? I don't really know. But I feel like there's not many uses because it's basically the same thing as 24 FPS. So there's really no reason to use 30. I'm shooting on 30 right now actually, but that's because I can't use 24 on my phone unless I want to shoot all 4K, which is going to be painful for my computer, like I said in the last video. So yeah. Honestly, really no uses for 30 FPS unless your camera cannot shoot 1080 24, then that's your really only option. So do it if you want. I really don't really care that much, but I really don't see the uses. It's basically the same thing. Now 60 FPS. Now this, we're getting into the like amazingly awesomely buttery smooth territory, because now you can actually get slow-mo shots with this. So pretty cool. So now 60 FPS, if you add optical flow, can be almost as smooth and slow as 120 FPS, which we'll get on later in the video. But it's very helpful to have 60 FPS as a backup, as if you want to get like slow-mo shots and stuff like that. I recommend either using 60, 120, or 240. 60 can be used for regular videos, but I really don't like it. It's just like, it's too smooth. It looks like 24. The reason why people use 24 is because it looks like real life. It has enough motion blur and it has enough frames to almost look like real life. 30 FPS basically looks the same thing. 60 FPS is a huge jump. You're getting 30 extra frames per second. And 30 looks like 24, but 60 is like too many frames. Like, it's too smooth. I don't like it. I would not recommend you use it for regular videos, but if it's okay if you do. There's really no difference, except it's gonna look a lot smoother and not as satisfying, to me at least. It's not really I don't really like it. I really don't. If I see somebody shooting on 60 FPS for regular video, I don't like it, because most people shoot 30 or 24. I just don't like it. It just looks too smooth for me. So now 120 FPS. This is some really good like slow-mo territory. Now 120 has so many frames that if you're trying to use it for regular video, it's pointless, because you're gonna even have to speed it up like 2-4 times in post. So it's like pointless to even use 120. But if you want, it works pretty well for slow-mo. Like, it's amazing for slow-mo. You can capture things that the eye can't really see fast enough and process. Like, it really can't. So like, if I like zoom, or like I throw like a ball really fast, or somebody hits a baseball or something, you can capture that like, because there's enough frames so that when you slow it down 2 times, it still has like 60 frames per second. Well, is that how it works? Doesn't it double in frames? Wait. Okay, I'm very confused on that, but it's much better than 60 FPS for slow-mo. So I would recommend that if you're just doing slow-mo with it. Otherwise, it's pretty much pointless because it's too smooth. It's literally double 60 FPS, and they look the same when you just make it regular video, because it just does. Like, it looks a lot smoother, and it looks so smooth it bothers me. Like, when people do it for regular video, it's like painful to, honestly. And I don't think anybody actually does that unless they're testing. I really don't know. Because if they're making a video like this, when I actually have to test it, and I'm gonna have to film me testing all these frame rates, But now it's very helpful for capturing the things that the human eye can't capture fast enough. But now we're moving on to 240. This is so slow. You can capture anything, really. Well, you can go to thousands and thousands of FPS with like super duper expensive cameras. Like, I mean, like maybe even $1 million or more. Well, maybe not. That's an exaggeration. Like $100,000 or more just to get that nice slow-mo and get thousands and thousands of FPS to be able to capture guns and even the speed of light. The slow-mo guys, the link in the description, they literally caught like the speed of light. How? I want to know how they did that. I really do. Like, you don't understand. That's so many frames they would have to capture. Because like, the speed of light is so fast. How? Okay, you know what? I am baffled by it, but we're gonna move on. So 240 FPS is super duper amazing for literally anything you want to capture that's needs to be slowed down as much as possible, because like you can't really get any faster than that. Like, you can't really capture much more than that unless you go to like 360, 480, that kind of stuff, like more and more. But otherwise, honestly, 240 should be able to cover most of your needs. Baseball bats, of course, pretty much everything, honestly. So that's really how it is. It's just better. But thank you guys for watching today's video. Please like, subscribe, and hit that YouTube notification bell to be notified each and every single time I make a video, which is, I'm starting to upload like once or twice a day now, and I think I'm doing better on that. But thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next one.